Okay, we're out here a little bit more now. That's good. Yep.
What do you got going on there, Lyle?
I got myself the first smallmouth of the day.
All right. I'll grab the net. There he is.
Looks like a nice one. Oh!
There he goes.
Curse of the first fish right there.
Now we'll get the next one.
That's right.
That happens. That's why we call it fishing and not catching. There he is.
Yeah.
Got him. Just when you think he's ready for the net, he turns around. That was just a greedy fish. That wasn't angler skill. That's probably my favorite part, when you feel that tap and you set the hook and you feel that solidness. But he's heavy. Tell he's been eating pretty good out there.
And we got ourselves a good salmon.
People travel all over the world for these fish. Let's do that again.
And let's face it, the Niagara River is a buffet for fish.
Let's get him back in the water. Oh, it's a big fish.
Setting the Hook with Brent Bochek is brought to you by Fish Envy and Live to Fish.
Oh, so I was going to tell you about there's fish.
Nice.
Not a big. Well, he was coming up. Now he's changed his mind.
Nice fish, Brent.
Yeah, they're spunky, eh? These river fish seem a lot stronger. Oh, that is a nice one. Oop, get up here. Just when you think he's ready for the net, he turns around. There we go.
Beauty.
That's one nice thing when you're not using treble hooks. You're not getting tangled up in the net.
Nope.
Whoop.
No, once you get the hook out of him, he's going to be good to go.
Yeah, right through the top of the snout. This little chunky fish. They got a pretty good belly on them there, eh?
Yeah.
They've been eating good down there.
Oh yeah.
Are they eating crayfish down there or minnows or?
Yeah, I think it's a whole mix. Sometimes you'll see him spit out minnows and gobies too.
Right.
Smallmouth, now that the gobies are here, they just love them.
Right. Well, let's get him back in the water. Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Setting the Hook. We're here on the lower Niagara River today and I'm fishing with Lyle Gayder. How you doing, Lyle?
I'm doing great, Brent.
So, I think of the Niagara River, Lyle, and I think trout. But it's what? It's August now. We're in the middle of August.
Yep.
And what are we doing here?
Well, today we're fishing for smallmouth bass, and that's a fish that is really plentiful in the river in the summertime, July, August. Lots of fish in the river.
Well, let's see if we can't catch one here.
Yep. Sounds good.
Oh, that was
Oh,
100% a fish.
Yep.
I was late on him. I'm like, oh, there's a fish, and it took me too long to set the hook.
They don't give you long.
No, that's my own fault there.
Just on the bottom. Yep.
Hooked up
This
right
guy's
away.
flying at the surface. I'll probably just swing this one, Brent.
There, if you I got the net here. Always better than breaking a rod tip, or
Yeah, for sure.
especially with these lighter spinning rods.
Yeah, and light leader material too.
Yeah.
I'm using 8-pound fluoro today.
We just landed that fish I had, and you said, oh, look at the graph. It's loaded on the bottom. I'm going to drop down and get one.
Yeah.
I was just still fixing my my bait there, and you're hooked up again.
Yep. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah. That just tells you how important it is to pay attention to your electronics and what's going on. Does your dad fish a lot?
No, he doesn't. He's always been, he comes along with me, supports me, but he's never been one to throw a line out with me or anything, no.
So how'd you get into fishing then?
My grandfather.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I call him my papa, and from a very early age.
Right.
He introduced me to fishing and specifically salmon fishing.
Right.
And that's something that we've continued to do together, this whole time. How about you?
How'd I get involved? We always went up to the Kawartha Lakes when I was a kid, and we'd walleye fish.
Yeah.
Of course, back then we called them pickerel. pickerel, walleye, doesn't matter. They still taste the same.
That's right.
But it's funny online how guys will get into arguments actually whether it's a walleye or a pickerel. And my mom and dad, my sisters would be out water skiing on the summertime, and I'd get one of the old rowboats there and I'd always go out perch fishing. I had nothing to do with water skiing. I wanted to go fishing. So I guess it's just kind of, it's either in your blood or it's not.
Yeah.
25 feet, and there's fish on bottom.
Yep.
There's fish.
Beauty, Brent.
Oh, he's coming up too. He started coming up and I couldn't, that was solid when I hit him.
Yeah.
It felt solid. But you don't catch them all. So was your grandfather was a police officer?
Yes. Yep, chief of police for Niagara Region. And that's actually how I know Richard.
Right, right.
That is what I'm talking about.
I never got to meet my grandfather, but
no?
No. Everyone always says that we would have had way too much fun though.
Oh, there's one. All right.
Whoa!
Whoa, here's the jumper.
All right.
There we go.
Wow, even for its size, it's very spunky.
You know what, it's amazing how hard a smallmouth will pull. Like you said, even for its size.
What's the phrase, pound for pound? One of the hardest fighting fish in freshwater.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know you like fishing kings as much as me, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's
If they're as strong as a smallmouth.
yeah.
Now look at the coloration on that one compared to the last couple we caught.
Yeah, something in his environment's a little bit different.
Anyone who has caught one will tell you, river bass fight harder. With all that current, it must be like living on a treadmill. Plus, they know how to use that current to swing the fight in their favor. But there is a more scientific reason why they are so strong. The moving water in a river has higher levels of oxygen than lake water. The higher levels of oxygen help them build stronger muscles and turbocharge their energy levels.
Next drift will go in a little tighter.
So all this water here, Lyle, I know we got a lot of deep water in the middle of the river that kind of comes up. How do you decipher where you want to fish here?
You know, we've got a north wind today, which is slowing the boat down quite a bit. I'm actually using the trolling motor to speed us up to keep with the speed. But every day's different. You know, they pump different current through, and it's riding at a different level all the time. And the drift that we're fishing today, it has the right speed of water, and as you can tell by the rumbling on the end of the rod tip, it has rocks.
Yes.
And smallmouth love rocks. They can hunt their food. They can get a break from all this fast water. And those are the things that I'm really looking for. That being said, this isn't the only drift on the river that has smallmouth. There's lots of other spots where you're getting that same mixture of the right speed. There's one.
There's fish.
Oh, he's gone. He was behind those rocks though. You know, that last fish just popped off, but something that I really like about these Berkley Max-Scent is that they stay on the hook really well. And that's important because A, you don't go through quite as many if you're guiding, but it also gives you confidence that maybe if I have customers out and they miss a bite, they can keep it down there for a little bit and have a chance at a second or third fish.
There's fish. Oh, that's a good fish.
Oh, I think he's gonna jump on you.
Yep, let's keep him down if I can. Well, they're all good fish, but this one feels a little heavier.
Oh, it's a giant. Brent, there's some big fish here today.
Whoa, there we go. I love it.
Nice
all right,
work.
Thanks, Lyle, nice net job. I want to make sure I had a grip on him before I pulled him out of the net.
Oh, for sure.
That hook just penetrated perfect there. Yeah, right through the top of the mouth. This one's got a bit of bars. That last one we caught, almost sandy colored.
Yep.
There we go. Another beautiful Niagara River smallmouth bass.
Oh, there. Oh, that looked like a bite.
That was a bite. I was just, I was slow on the draw there.
That is common down here, though. You'll get that rock. It just seems like a fish, and it's sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't.
We'll never know. So as we're drifting along here, like we're got constant contact with bottom. It's like tap, 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 tap as your weight's hitting bottom there.
Yep.
When the fish pick it up, it's almost like that stops.
Yeah. Yeah. As the fish picks it up, I like to describe it to my customers as it feeling spongy, like a sponginess comes into the rod. And that's just the fish lifting up that weight off the bottom. So instead of feeling the contact hitting the rocks, you're actually up off the bottom a little bit, and that's what gives you that sensation.
So it's important to get a fairly quick sweep onto them.
Yes.
A fairly quick sweep onto them.
For sure. You're traveling along in the drift fairly quickly, so the faster that you can sweep up with the rod, you're going to get a better hook set.
Right, and better chance of putting that fish in the boat. Oh! That was a fish. Oh, he just hit it again. There he is.
Yes.
He's coming up. He felt good on the hook set, and then he came straight up to the top. He gets his head turned here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so strong.
Oh, aren't they? Oh, there he is.
Got him.
Nice. Look at that. He's still not quitting.
Yeah.
Look at his beady red eyes on this guy, eh? Nice. They're a solid fish here, right?
Yes. Yeah.
These
You'll
fish are
see
really solid.
the weight all the way through the tail. They're
Yes.
very well fed.
Yeah, thick, strong. Even holding them, you can feel they're strong fish. So what's the name of your guide service?
I operate Hooked on Niagara Guide Service, and I'm located in St. Catharines, but I move around to all the different waterways that we fish here. Lake Erie, Niagara River, also Lake Ontario.
Now you fished in tournaments on Lake Ontario, haven't you?
I have. Yeah, the last couple of years, me and some of my friends, we formed Team Copperhead, and we compete in the King of the Lake event every year in the spring and the fall.
Oh. Sorry, I just missed a fish.
That's okay.
Didn't want to interrupt you there.
No,
But
all good. It's a good interruption.
how have you made out in the King of the Lake tournaments?
Pretty well, actually. Our first year, I fished in my 17-foot boat before I got the Lund, and we actually took first place in the fall event. So that was a pretty wild start to the tournament career. The conditions that day were just phenomenal for us. We fished shallow water, and it was a really exciting bite.
Yeah, it's amazing how some days it can be a tough day out in the water when you're fishing a tournament. You might be having a tough day, but you know somebody's on the fish.
Absolutely.
Or you could be on the fish and you're going, geez, if it's this good, everybody is on them. And that's all part of it. It's a psychological thing. And if you can get past that, then you can do quite well.
Yeah, going into that tournament, the first one, and now it's become our sort of way that we go about things for our tournament team is just, go out, fish your event, and have fun. Because when you're doing that, you're going to be more successful anyways.
Right. Remember I said I got bit? My bait's gone.
I think you did.
Did you know that Niagara Falls moves? The crest of the falls used to be in Queenston, right where the boys are fishing today. Over the past 12,000 years, the crest has eroded upriver to the spot we all go to view them now.
Yep, there's a fish. All right.
Oh, I think we both maybe got him.
Well, I think I got caught on you when you were coming up
He
there.
did such a big run there.
Yeah, I was trying to get out of your way. That's another nice
Another
fish.
nice fish.
There we go.
Oh yeah. River's kicking out some quality for us today.
Now we got to see who's got him in the mouth.
We both do.
No, just yours. Mine just got caught in there.
Oh, I see. I'll grab him from you.
There, you got him?
Yep.
All right. Let you take your fish there.
Yep. That's a good thing for the viewers at home too. If you're new to fishing and you haven't held a smallmouth before, you can use your thumb and pinch right down on his bottom lip, sort of right near his tongue, and that's a good way to. It's like his off button. He acts real good for you that way.
Yeah, it's just like sandpaper in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he won't hurt you. He's got no teeth. But yeah, that's a good safe way to hold the fish.
Don't do that with a pike or a walleye or a muskie though.
Be a much different story. All right, we'll get this guy back.
Yeah, nice job there, Lyle.
So I just landed that fish there, and something that I like to do every time that fish happened to steal my bait, I'll check my hook. I'll make sure that I still got a good hook point on there, make sure the hook isn't bent at all. And I'll just sort of run my fingers up and down the line. You know, we're fishing on rocks today, and the fish, when he bites, maybe he takes you into a few rocks. You want to make sure that your fluorocarbon is intact before you drop back down.
So Lyle, notice we got on the American side here, which of course we can't go over to right now because we're fishing with Canadian fishing licenses. You don't go onto the American side.
Right.
But you can see here they got, as we traveled along the river today, they got 3 different boat ramps. We got one here at Queenston.
Yep, yeah, just one on our side, and that's the Queenston boat ramp, like you mentioned. It's free to use, fairly accessible out of the town of Queenston there. And in the fall time, all the way through the summer, you'll see people fishing from shore.
Right, people fishing from shore, boats going in even in the wintertime.
Yes, yeah, it's the only way to really access the river through the winter. It's not maintained or anything like that, so 4-wheel drive is definitely recommended for the cold, icy days. But yeah, most of the time you can get down there, you can get your boat in. You see a lot of guys who aren't fishermen. They'll just, you know, tube, water ski on the river, which is fine as well.
Now, I've noticed I've came down with the guys in the wintertime and they'll have a spade in their truck and they'll have salt in there for the boat ramp.
Yeah.
As you said, it's not maintained. So if you are going to come down in the winter, be prepared. Especially after guys start pulling their boats out of the water, right?
That's right.
Those cold days, you're pulling the boat out, water drips off, freezes again. So guys may have cleared it in the morning, but by the afternoon, it's going to be frozen up again.
And that's something about being a courteous fisherman, you know, with your fellow anglers, is when you're pulling that trailer out of the water, if you just give it a minute to drip down before you pull all the way up on the ramp, that can really help out the guys that maybe don't have 4-wheel drive, so that they don't slip and fall in the water. Yeah,
it's there for everybody to enjoy, help each other out.
That's right. I would also want to say, you know, just on being on the river in general, if you're new to fishing or new to sort of adventuring, that sort of thing, the Niagara River is very strong, and I think a lot of people underestimate it when they come down here. So, you know, a lot of the people that I take out are new to fishing, or maybe they've never fished before, and I would definitely suggest, you know, paying attention to the water if you're going to go near it.
All your people get American licenses?
Oh, nice, right away.
Oh, he's hooked up.
Oh, it's a real little guy.
It's still a fish though. Do you want me to get the net, or you can lift him in?
I can lift him in.
All right. Let's see if I can keep down there and get his big sister.
Yep. I've just seen some more on the graph there, so they're down there.
You know, it's nice to catch big fish, but it's nice seeing those smaller fish too.
For sure. It's like job security for us down here.
But it's nice to know they're reproducing and ensuring fishery for future generations. I think Richard fishes walleye right here too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he'll do the drifting and probably some jigging too.
So it's pretty much guys are fishing the same areas, different, but just different times of years for different species.
Yeah, exactly. Different fish move in.
So Lyle, if you were to guess, because it's probably going to be a guess because there's so many here, how many species of fish do you think are in the lower river here?
That would be a tough guess, for sure. I mean, it depends a lot on the time of year. But I will say, last fall I was just fun fishing with a friend, and we got 7 species in one day. And that was hopping around different spots, different areas of the river.
Yeah.
So there's a lot down here, and I know that those 7 weren't the only ones that were down there.
Right. Well, just off the top of our head, some of the species people might not think of, you got garpike, you have sturgeon.
Yep.
Of course, we're fishing bass today. There's sheephead, there's carp, coarse fish like that. There's pike, there's muskie, smallmouth, largemouth bass, walleye.
Yep.
Different times of year we have rainbow trout, coho, chinook salmon, lake trout, brown trout, perch, white bass. I'm sure there's more there that we're missing.
Yeah.
Sunfish and stuff like that.
Everything from the bottom of sort of that food web all the way up to the top.
Right. From the bottom of the river up to the top, all those different species.
Yeah.
Everybody's somewhere else or somewhere different out down there.
Do you know how many species of game fish are in the lower Niagara River? According to NiagaraRiver.com's eating guide and some personal accounts, there are 27 species of fish in the river, and that excludes bait fish. Think you can name them all?
nice one.
That one lifted up on me. That's what I said. That was weird at first. There he goes. Now he's bulldogging. Woo. Ready?
Yeah, if he is, I don't know. It's another nice fish.
Yeah. Whoop. You seen that nut coming and he decided to go the other way.
There we
There we
go.
go. That's another healthy fish.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, sir. Ow, he's biting me. There we go. No, I like when you net the fish, sir, you don't drop the net when I'm trying to reach into it.
Yeah.
I've fished with a lot of people and you go to reach into the net and they're dropping it the whole time. Now he's a little lighter color too, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that, he's got a bruise there.
Yeah, he does.
Got a bit of a bruise on the other side of his head there.
Maybe he's going down in the rocks trying to eat crayfish and stuff like that.
Yeah, that could be. But yeah, another healthy fish, real solid. Let's get him back in.
Hey everybody, want to take just a minute to explain the setup that we're using for these lower river smallmouth. For line, I've got a 10-pound braid that I'm going to an 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. I've got about 10 feet of this fluorocarbon. I like to tie a nice long leader, and that way if I break off or I get some nicks or something on the line, I can retie without having to do that uni to uni knot of joining the braid to the fluorocarbon. Then down on the business end, I'm just going to tie a simple polymer knot. A little trick is to then take the tag end that your sinker is going to go on and go back up that eyelet from the top down. Your hook is sitting perfectly, and when you put that bait on and the fish comes up to eat it, it's going to go right in his mouth. So now that I've tied the polymer knot and I've got my drop shot hook on the line, I have one of these drop shot sinkers, which is nice because I don't have to tie another knot. I'm just going to take that line, put it right through that crease, pull it tight, and that weight is stuck on there. So that way if I go through some rocks and I get hung up, this will just pull right out. I don't have to tie another knot. I'm just hooking it real easy right through the nose. With this style bait, I really like to just not hook it too far back. Another way you'll see guys do it is you can feed it on. And that works too. You can definitely, rig it that way. But I like the nose hook. I find it gives the bait lots of movement in the water. Real simple, just like that. A lot of them have floating material in them, so it sits up in the water nicely.
You're keeping constant contact with the bottom with that.
Yep.
So as we're drifting along here, your bait's going to be anywhere from 6 inches to 1.5 feet off bottom.
Yep, yeah, you can decide depending on the day. I'll mix it up a bit. Some days fish are coming up a little bit higher.
Right.
Other days they're really glued to bottom. So the nice thing about fishing with a drop shot is you can decide how far off bottom you're fishing.
Right. So paying attention to your electronics will help you decide that as well.
For sure.
If you're marking fish right on the bottom, you're going to have a little closer. If you mark them up higher, you're going to raise it up a bit.
Yeah, I know you've got the screen here, and I run the same thing when I'm on my boat too.
Right.
Is I want to be able to look down and see where I am and where those fish are marking.
The drop shot rig is a staple for bass anglers all across the Niagara region and North America. But the rig was actually invented by saltwater anglers. They put live bait on hooks above the weights as a way to keep it off the sea bottom and away from greedy, thieving crabs. How the drop shot rig made its way to the sport fishing world is still up for debate, with many claims to who brought it.
What fish?
Nice.
You gotta love it, eh? When you feel that little bit of, as you say, spongy feeling, and then when you send the hook and that rod bends
Another
right
nice
over.
fish.
There we go. Thank you. He's really light colored, eh?
Look at the white on his belly.
Yeah. Look at that, eh? Feel how white his belly is. Very light colored. Get that out of there. There we go. Another nice Niagara River smallmouth bass. Like I said, to come out here on your own, not knowing how the current works in that, it'd be pretty tough for people sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Time on the water is everything. Coming out here, experiencing it, figuring out how the current works, how you're gonna drift, how your bait's gonna drift. Mm-hmm. People get out here and give it a try. If you're not comfortable with it or you're not getting things figured out, hire a guide out here. There's a few of them, Lyle's one of them. And as you can see today, we're catching fish. He's got it really dialed in here. It just takes a drift or two and you get the idea of what you're feeling for, eh?
Yeah.
Whether it's rock or you can tell, you know, even when it's not, you know, it stops bouncing, you know it's not a fish. It's
Yeah, just a small change in the bottom. Yeah, I love taking people out because at the start of the day, it's a very new concept to them, even if they've fished a lot before. And you know, by the end of the day, we work together and they really do develop a feel. And that's pretty cool to see that transformation.
Do you find a difference in the evening or daytime where the fish are in tighter or out deeper? Or?
Not too much. Mostly what I'm looking for is the speed of the water.
Yeah.
And wherever I can kind of find the eddies and stuff like that.
Right. And mark fish.
And mark fish for sure. Yeah, wherever you can see with your electronics, you know, that'll tell you a lot about where you should spend your time. Yep.
There we go. There's fish.
Oh, it's a tank.
Oh, it's a big fish.
It's a big smallie.
So this is where the net guy gets nervous, right? When you got a big fish on.
Oh, Brent, this is a big fish.
I see that. Oh, sorry. There we go. That's a nice fish. Nice job, Lyle. Good job. Well, you get all, yeah. Yep. I'm all tongue-tied. I'll let you pull him out of the net, Lyle. There we go. So that's a big fish anywhere, but for the river, that's real good.
Yeah, no, that's one that we're definitely looking for out here.
He's got a nice belly on him.
Sure does. Beautiful golden colors too.
Yeah.
You'll get them all sorts of different colors down here.
Right.
But this guy's kind of paler color.
Yeah. A couple that we got earlier today, they were almost black.
Yep.
And that's got, you know, to me that looks just like a Kawartha fish. You know, the colors that you see in the Kawarthas. So.
Well, we'll get him back here. We don't want to keep him out too long.
Yeah, get him back in and we'll get another one.
Yeah.
You know, folks, the sun's starting to set here on the lower Niagara River. We're going to be heading back to the dock at Queenston in a few minutes. Lyle, I want to thank you very much for coming out today and showing us the lower river. You really got it dialed in, and you've shown me how important boat control is down here.
Absolutely, Brent. It's been a blast fishing for the smallies down here on the lower Niagara. And I hope sometime soon, maybe in the fall time, we'll get out for some steelhead or some browns. That
sounds like a lot of fun. Unfortunately, in the fall, we're not going to be in our shorts and t-shirts.
No.
We're probably going to be in our survival suits. It's going to be a lot colder, but it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time on Setting the Hook.